Welcome to GabTalks, where we provide tools, tips, and techniques to help your life and business be easier, better, and faster. Hello, hello. How are you? I'm Gabriella, and this is GabTalks Success Tips from Experts. Welcome to our next episode where I am bringing to you an amazing expert. This fellow knows his stuff inside and out, and he teaches business owners how to manage their time. He's written books. He's super inspirational. I am so excited to bring to you guys today, Christoph Nauer. How are you?
I am great, Gab. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Yeah, you and I have had an opportunity to have several conversations. I know that you help people with time. I kind of suck at that myself. Sometimes I call myself a JIT girl just in time. And maybe I could use a little help from you as well. So let's jump in and have you tell everybody about your expertise.
Well, thank you. Yes. Well, for the last 12 years, I've been committed to helping business owners exactly with that they acquire a balance between their business and their personal life so that they don't get on the hamster wheel in the morning and just, go, 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 go. And at the end of the day, they fall off completely exhausted and they didn't get anything done. So that in the end, they can enjoy more days on the beach. I'm a beach guy, okay? Every single week without losing any momentum in the business, actually growing the business while enjoying free time. Yeah, right. If you're not a beach person, whatever it is, but I am. That's where I recharge my batteries.
I mean, it doesn't matter where you recharge your batteries. What matters is getting that time back for yourself, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So, like I said, I know that you have some incredible value to bring to our audience, and I could use a little help from you too. Will you tell us about your background and how you got to where you are today?
All right, sure, yes, be happy to. As you may be able to detect from my accent, I wasn't born here. I grew up in Zurich, Switzerland. And that's where my dad was a train engineer driving trains across Switzerland. My mom was fortunate enough to be a stay-at-home mom. So my dad always focused on the importance of education. So
Hmm.
I went to school. I got a BA in business over there. I got my teaching credentials in Switzerland. And one thing that I learned there, and I think it's mostly because of my mom, is kind of like the value of being authentic and being true to yourself and what's right and what's wrong. But then, after teaching for about 5 or 6 years, I decided I wanted to expand and do something different. So I came to this country and to study theology. That's where I met my wife. We were in the same class together, and lo and behold, that's how I ended up staying here. So my wife and I were both involved in ministry before I started my new path into coaching. And what happens is a friend of mine invited me to a men's group and said, "Hey, you got to come. We've got a great group of guys." And one of the men was a coach, and that
Uh-huh.
started the process. Okay. So we started talking and so forth. And eventually he ended up training me as a coach and so forth. And that's how I got into the coaching business. Even to this day, what strikes me is very very much in this country, we look around, who can we blame and who can we sue when something goes wrong?
Right.
If I trip and fall, well, maybe I should watch where I'm going. I stick with that. When I make a mistake, I fess up to it and I take the consequences and I learn from that and then try not to make the same mistake again.
Well, and that's probably one of the things that makes you such an incredible business coach, teaching people, because as a business owner, you have to learn that you make mistakes all the time, and it's how you handle them and what you do after that makes all the difference. You want to talk about that for a moment?
I think this is an excellent point, yes, because I think as a business owner, we do make mistakes. And so, what do we do with those mistakes? Do we learn from them? Do we seek help? If we hit the plateau, we hit a limit in our business where we can't grow past that, or something's just not working.
Right.
So we have a choice to make. we can either go on and continue to do the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, and everybody knows the definition of that,
Right.
or we can seek help, you know, and also look at it. Okay, I'm not an expert at everything. Who out there can help me with the issue that I'm currently facing?
Right.
And instead of looking at to blame, oh, it's the economy, it's this, it's that, or the other thing. Ultimately, most of my clients, when I ask them what's holding you back, they say me. And
Yeah.
when I hear that, I'm like, okay, we good, we can work together.
Yeah. Yeah. I am right there with you. I've had some hurdles to get over, and there were times when I wanted to point a finger at other people, and I had to look in the mirror and realize that I have to face my own issues and get over my own hurdles. And if it is somebody else, then I need to create a space between me and that person, and I need to move on, right?
Yes, if it's truly somebody else's fault, exactly. And that's where the whole relationship comes into play. Is that relationship with that particular person, or that particular client, is that really worth it? You know,
Yeah. So, one of the things we ask when we are interviewing our guests and our experts is where they get their influence and inspiration from, because a lot of the people that are listening would like to have the opportunity for a similar kind of influence and inspiration for themselves. And you were telling me about yours is really incredible. Share that with us.
yes, thank you. When my training was done, or when I officially was certified, that's when I realized how little I knew. So it was time for me to expose myself and connect with experts. And the one expert that has been critically important to me has been Brian Tracy.
Uh huh.
Uh, I've been been absorbing his stuff, and for years. And then about 3 or 4 years ago, he offered a course in time management mastery, and I took that and got certified by him as such. He's just an incredible man. What he teaches speaks to me, and I can relate to what he's saying. And I know there's other gurus out there, of course, there's other experts, but the one that I feel most drawn to is definitely Brian Tracy.
Yeah, I've seen some of his stuff, and he is definitely really brilliant. And what a great person to turn to for influence and to learn from. Hello, hello, awesome listener. Thank you so much for joining us today at GabTalks Success Tips from Experts. We're going to take a short break and say thank you to our sponsors. It is through the generous support of these sponsors that we are able to bring to you these amazing experts that are sharing their best tips for your success. So please listen to what our sponsors have to say, and hopefully they're going to inspire you that you're going to click their links and go support them.
Introducing Boost by GoV, a high-end, first-in-class fuel catalyst tablet that is taking the world by storm. How would you like to save money on gas and go further on every single tank? The new MPG is here. Get more miles per gallon, boost power and performance, and reduce emissions and exhaust. What would you say if you could pay less and make fewer trips to the gas pump? It's time to wake up and get on the move. What are you waiting for? Get more out of life and join the GoV experience today. Scan the QR code or check the show notes for more information.
Global Prosperity Academy, GPA, is a community of like-minded individuals that are heart-centered and mission-driven, focusing on high-level communication training, leadership development, and strategic community building. Take a look at the video in the link below and see how GPA is right for you. So, Christoph, let's talk about when you were little, or going to college. If you could go back and give yourself one piece of advice, what would that be?
One piece of advice is, I think, the one that my dad gave me. Education is really critically important. And you learn much better as a young person than as an old person. I can tell you that because I'm not on the young side anymore. And so take advantage of that. Take advantage of the courses that are out there and continue to learn. Don't ever stop. That's one of the reasons why one of the six of Balance Six, my business name, is self-improvement.
Ah,
There's always more to learn. And that makes you, the more you know, the more value you bring to others. And people look to you as a person of knowledge, a person of not only knowledge, but wisdom. Somebody's constantly learning and expanding his or her horizon is looked up to. So never stop learning.
yeah, I love being a lifelong learner myself. I'm always finding new things to learn from, sometimes a little bit too much and get a little overwhelmed, but um, I just love learning things. I get interested in many, many different things. So I would like to open up to ask you about your best advice and tips to share with our audience that they can go take action on right now.
All right. The first one is make sure you have a plan for every day, a detailed plan, a schedule. And because 1 minute of planning can save you up to 10 minutes in execution.
Oh,
Okay.
interesting.
Then make sure there's something life giving for yourself on your schedule. And if I can, I share a brief story with you.
Please.
It's about a person by the name of Carl Jung. Most people have heard of him, and most people have never heard my name. We have one thing in common: we're both Swiss. But he had a house at the Lake of Zurich, while I grew up in the outskirts of Zurich. So he was contacted by a very influential person and who said, I would like to see you at 2 o'clock on Wednesday afternoon. And he said, I'm sorry, I don't have time for you at that time. I already have an appointment. So lo and behold, that person was happening to be on a boat driving by his house on the Lake of Zurich. And she sees him in the backyard dangling his feet in the water. So outraged at home, she called him up and said, and yelled at him and said, you didn't have an appointment. You lied to me. I saw you. You were sitting in your backyard dangling your feet in the water. And Carl Jung calmly replied, no, I did not lie to you. I had an appointment. I had the most important appointment of the week, an appointment with myself. And I used that to illustrate my point. And I even push it a little bit further. Have an appointment with yourself once a day, not once a week.
I think a lot of us need that advice. I think a lot of us don't take that advice at all. And I know there are times when I get very involved in what I'm doing and forget to take a little bit of time to myself. Although I do find that I work most effectively in the morning. So in the evenings, I try to have some decompressed time for myself. What other advice would you like to share with us today?
Another great one is the one from Brian Tracy, 90-15-90. That
Uh-huh.
little nugget can really get your productivity through the roof. What does that mean? It means for 90 minutes, you work on one project, something that you have to get done, uninterrupted. Your phone is off, your email is off, everything else is off your desk. You focus solely on that one task for 90 minutes, and you take a break and you do it again for 90 minutes. If you do that, your productivity will skyrocket. You can just do it once a week to start with and see what it feels like. But
Yeah.
don't do anything else, just that one task, and that will just set you up.
I've heard similar versions of that before. And I know a lot of people who are top tier trainers teach to time block in that way. So I
Yes.
think that's fantastic advice. Is there any other advice you'd like to share with us before we wrap up?
I think you said the key word there, Gab, time blocking. Okay, that's a key word. If you don't do it now, start doing that. Block time for the things that have to get done. Hopefully, you have your to-do list. Hopefully, you have an actual schedule. Hopefully, you do plan on this is when I do that. So, block time for these things. And when you do use the time blocking, that will change, it will be a life changer. And in the time blocking, include that appointment with yourself.
Right.
Okay? Because like we in our society, the only time we get that correct is on the airplane. Put your mask on yourself first before you help somebody else.
Uh, On each episode of GabTalks Success Tips from Experts, we like to highlight a hero sponsor who is a business that chooses to highlight a do-good organization in their own community that is bettering the world. Today's hero sponsor is...
Hello, I'm Deborah Thorne, the Information Diva, author, coach, trainer, speaker, and the proud host of the Leverage Conference for speakers, authors, and entrepreneurs. Today, it is my pleasure to highlight one of my favorite nonprofit organizations, Demo Chicks. Demo Chicks empowers, elevates, and enlightens girls and young women in the non-traditional fields of architecture, construction, and engineering. For more information about Demo Chicks, please use the link below. Thank you for your support.
Well, I know there's tons of great advice that people can get from you. I have probably 5 more questions, but we're actually out of time. So where can they find more information from you?
Best place to go is my website. It has everything that they need right there.
And what is your website?
It is balance6.biz.
.biz. Awesome. And we will get the link to that down below in the show notes. Is there anywhere else online that we can reach out to you? Are you on social media or any other places?
Yes,
You have
I'm
a
on
YouTube channel, don't you?
Yes, I have a YouTube channel and Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and all those links are on my website. It's all
Fantastic.
yes.
Awesome. So again, don't forget, you guys, the link will be down below in the notes, and we'll also grab his YouTube channel and put that in the notes as well. Check out what he's doing over there and his LinkedIn. Also, you have a fabulous offer to share with our audience. What is that?
Yes, I actually have more than one offer because one offer is not always best for everybody, right?
Ah.
So one offer that you can get on my website is a free webinar that talks about how to maximize your time. And you can just sign up right there on the website. You can also, if you like, get a free PDF report called 5 Secrets for Putting Your Business Growth on Autopilot. If you want to dig a little bit deeper, you can get my book called From No Time to Free Time, 6 Steps to Work-Life Balance for Business Owners, which is an Amazon bestseller. That also is available on my website.
Well, excellent. And we will get the links for each of those pages onto the show notes below, so you guys can check out all that and download the webinar or the cheat sheet. Maybe get over to Amazon and pick up a copy of Christoph's book. You guys don't forget to click the subscribe button, set the reminder so that you know when our next episode is airing. Hey, thanks so much for watching. We hope you got value today. We want to give a huge shout out of gratitude to our contributors. Please make sure you click the subscribe button below, and don't forget to click the bell up above to get reminders when we add new content.